Just a quick recap. A few years back, I used to record In Session with Girth in a bar in downtown Toronto, the Pacific Junction Hotel Bar, which sadly is no longer with us. A moment of silence. Sometimes bands would come in and play, sometimes they'd come in just to talk and hang out. Unlike most interviews they did, because we were in a bar, it meant they could drink while we talked. And honestly, that made for some honest interviews. From In Session at Girth Radio, I graduated to My Summer Lair, and I'm having lots of fun chatting with dope creators who are doing dope things. Thank you for listening, by the way. Still, and occasionally, I'm going to use this My Summer Lair space to present an In Session episode, like a yearbook memory. Just like every yearbook, the photos are embarrassing, the fashion is terrible, the things we talked about were raw, they were undercooked. The interviews are clumsy with some remarkable moments, and the audio is a bit uneven, like a left-handed person using right-handed scissors. If you get past the rookie Sammy starting to figure this gig out, you'll slowly be rewarded. Delight awaits.
They see people run, so they run. They see people talk, so they don't. But there's moments on
Get it, got it, good. Get it, got it, good.
They can't kill us cause they can't see us cause they only see fear.
Get it, got it, good.
They can't kill us cause they can't see us cause they only see fear.
Got it,
We're fearless.
Damn, it feels good to be back. Damn, it feels good to be black. They keep on killing us, we just keep killing it. Mama said killing is not where the ailing is. Gonna speak back. Lord knows she been through it. She said a human is not who the villain is. She said it's fear. It's greed and it's pride. You see it inside. That's what the system is built on and what it instills in us. Man, I've been feeling this vibe. Honestly, the haters can hate. Just let the creators create and let the creator be judged. I mean, too many mistakes to be grudging. Besides, all of us lost without love. Cause maybe some never get woke. Or tired of staying awake. Or party all night and distraught at the state of the day. Lord, what do you make of this way that I'm walking, this path that I'm on? You made a way for me. Hope that my map isn't wrong. Nowadays, my legs is weak. What if my staff isn't strong? What if it breaks? Who got me? You got me. I know that you got me good. Get it, got it, good. Get it, got it, good. Get it, got it, good. Get it, get it, got it, good. Get it, got it, good. Get it, got it, good. Get it, got it. I'm talking about wave. Talking about ways we can elevate. Stepping up, staring, we escalate. Don't try to separate. We'll get together and celebrate. I can do everything. I just don't hesitate. I can do anything. Allow me to demonstrate. I just can't wait. I just cannot be me. I just can't go back and copy me. I just cannot be free. I just can't possibly. Lessons on lessons. Legends on legends on legends. Little black boy with a poem that he showed to the reverend. Jesus saw Judas and ran up to hug the young brother and dug at the other 11. Like, why is this traitor in heaven? He said it's hell on earth anywhere love isn't present. Wherever he goes, we go together, my brother. You get it? I got you. Get it, got it, good. 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 They can't kill us cause they can't see the truth. They can't kill us cause they can't see us cause they only see fear. Wanna be free? Answer one question, but answer honestly. What are you afraid of?
Yo, welcome to My Summer Lair. I'm your host, Sammy. I once gave peas a chance, Younan. Here now is a My Summer Lair yearbook episode. This is In Session with Shad from 2018, eloquently talking about his impressive album, A Short Story About a War. An album whose song titles include Magic, yes, and The Fool.
Sound, The Final Frontier. My Summer Lair is an enterprise, a pop culture voyage with a continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new creators and celebrate established producers, to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. And now here is your host, Sammy Younan.
I want to offer congratulations, obviously, because you're having a very busy, successful October. You just had a kid. Season 2 of Hip Hop Evolution drops on Friday, October 19. A Short Story About War, your new album, is out October 26th, and Kawhi Leonard is on the Raptors.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be like, my hope is that they become like a killer defensive team, kind of like the Pistons championship team in the like mid 2000s, and I think that's kind of our best look. But yeah, I'm very excited. I think the NBA Finals is like very realistic.
Even with the Celtics? I know we're on a tangent. We'll get to the album in a second, but even with the...
I mean, the Celtics are stacked. The problem with the Celtics is Tatum is a beast. On top of everything else, like Tatum is like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Young Bucks are scary.
Yeah, they're scary. They're scary. So, but if we can defend the way that our team can defend with like Kawhi and OG and Danny Green and Ibaka, like if we can defend the way we can defend, I think we can make the finals.
All right. So we're going to start on a positive note, and let's keep it going.
Yeah.
The new album is a short story about war, and it's a concept album. So what is the concept?
So this is it, Sammy. So I want to say 5 years ago, somewhere around there, this story occurred to me in my mind about a war. And it was one of these situations where, for some reason, I got these images in my mind, and right away I can see the parallels to our world. So it just felt like kind of an inspired experience. I was seeing this story and also understanding its meaning and significance in the world. So fast forward, 3-4 years, whenever I started working on this album, that story just kind of like stayed with me. I think a bit longer than I expected that it would. And it just felt like a meaningful project to try and make it come alive musically, and a fun creative project to try and make it come alive musically. So that's pretty much what this album is. If I had to sum it up, I'd say that the album is about fear. And I would say that the parallels to me are very clear. The war represents our system, our economic system, our social system, the way that our systems here are so kind of life or death, or feel life or death. Economic survival, also the way that we even interact with each other socially, interact with strangers. It feels very fight or flight. There's a lot in our world that like induces those fight or flight feelings, similar to a war scenario. There's a lot of fear in our world. So if I had to sum it up, that's where I'd say the album came from, and kind of what I'm exploring is fear and its role in our lives and in our world.
And this fear you're talking about and this war you're talking about, are you talking like specifically Black people? Because today is Black Poetry Day, so it's kind of ironic that I'm talking to you today. Or are you like, generally speaking, like everybody is like dealing with this kind of issue and succumbing to this issue and just coming at it from a different perspective or different lens?
Yeah, totally. That's a good question. To me, what I'm ultimately getting at is something very universal when I'm like fear. So I think we all experience fear in the face of, well, we all experience fear. Well, let me just put it that way. The specific things that evoke fear for us are different depending on our communities, depending on our, social, economic, political, ethnic, whatever positions that we're coming from and that we live in. But to me, primarily, I'm talking about something universal, which is that experience of fear. But definitely, like, the album has on another level certain political messages and meanings, and speaks specifically to certain kinds of fear that I think Black people experience. So yeah, I think that's probably the best way I can answer your question. I think that the fear I'm talking about ultimately is like something universal, but there are moments where I'm talking more specifically about certain groups' experiences, and one of those is obviously Black people.
And you said fear is universal when you're talking about how different types of people, like Black people, for example, experience fear. is it the same thing with love? Is love universal, and do different groups experience love in different ways? Not necessarily express them, but receive it in different ways.
Yeah. So in terms of love, like the way I kind of explore it in this album is, so there's this war scenario that I'm kind of painting, and then there's different characters in this war world, and most of the characters are people that have different rationales for participating in the violence. They're basically different factions or different armies or different positions in this war. And then in terms of love, there's one character that I saw in this war scenario that just like doesn't believe in the power of bullets, like kind of believes that everyone is running around and shooting and hiding based on an illusion. So in terms of love, what I think that means is like disarming yourself. If there's a universal message of love in the album, it has something to do with disarming yourself in front of other people. It has something to do with living peacefully and taking that first step of faith and kind of disarming yourself if there's a message of love. I think that's kind of what that character is getting at, and what I'm interested in as far as love goes. So yeah, I think that there's something very universal about love, and I think it has to do with those things, which is why I think you can recognize it anywhere. I don't know if you've had that experience. I mean, you grew up, I think, in the GTA in a kind of multicultural setting. It's like love is love. You know it when you see it. And it can have different expressions, but ultimately it carries this texture or this flavor to it that you can recognize anywhere.
Yeah, and it's the same thing too, where it's like you recognize it, but it's also, when it's like absent. Like, when you eat like a sandwich or something and it's like missing some like mustard or like salt and pepper or something, the sandwich is fine and you can get by and it doesn't ruin your day necessarily, but it's like if it had a little extra something, like it was missing something.
Exactly.
Strangers, forced to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow in a war zone with only stones to throw. Vilified by all sides, vilified for small crimes. Forced to go blow for blow in a war zone with only stones to throw. Goliath, we're gonna blink. We're gonna blink. Yeah, we're gonna blink. We're gonna blink. The game hasn't changed, same old monopoly, same couple players on all of the property. I ain't a prop, don't get no props. I mean, my people still don't eat properly. Think we forgot we was just property. Think we'll be bought again. Think that they brought them democracy. I think they brought back them poppies. These my people locked up in job. That's hypocrisy. We wasn't thought of. We wasn't brought up and taught. We was set up. That's why we get caught up. Y'all discarded us. Put them bars up. Of course we got guards up. We hard cause we hard up. They got them startups and Starbucks. We got a couple of stars, so they turn them to starters. They starve us. Can't even drink water. Up north with that Flint water. All in the sink as they sleep for the kids on the brink. Y'all went to Harvard and Stanford. Think harder for answers, man. Think we're far below standards. Don't tell me anger won't help us. You told me the cancer would shrink. We need to shrink. We just see boys making bands and sick. Open your eyes, my fan. We all could be going in a blink. Game hasn't changed, same game of life we play. Maybe I'm only one roll of the dice away from a rose with some ice and some gold on the license plate. We roll our whole life away. I think they gamed us, made us be gamers. They game with the system, they made it to play us. Gave us controllers, we gave no control up. The game wasn't made, so we make it. It's made up. It's worth their wages. Just look at these wages they pay us. It's pennies, it pays us. They paid us in corners on corners. What can we do, man? We're cornered. I'm lucky I'm stuck in this booth, stuck in raw cooped up. People get stuck up for loot, stuck up in bougie, and stuck us in jewelry. They could have stuck up for the youth, stuck up for justice and truth. Now we can either get loud or just shut up and shoot. Give us a shot. Don't shut us out from the group. You can shut down the nuke. Don't push our buttons and suddenly y'all could go poof. Gone in a blink. Forced to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow in a war zone with only stones to throw. Vilified by all sides, vilified for small crimes. Forced to go blow for blow in a war zone with only stones to throw. Goliath,
how are you balancing love and fear when the second single that you release off this album is the Stone Throwers, which is kind of now like we've kind of revered the Stone Throwers now, especially with the online mobs and these kind of things. Is that path reversible? Can we, if we stop giving into fear, can we retreat and go back to love and sandwiches with mustard?
Yeah. So I think what the album is kind of getting at, that's a good question. I think what the album is kind of getting at, first of all, is how difficult it is. You know, so if I think about this Fool character, for example, in the midst of everybody running and shooting and to have this, to hold this faith of like, no, this is an illusion. Like, I don't believe in this violence. Like, to me, that's so difficult. So I think there's one message there of love, of just recognizing how difficult it is. And then, and also on the note of recognizing how difficult it is, it's like we all have our rationales for it, for the violence that we participate in. And I'm defining violence broadly here. You know, you talked about online comments. I mean, that's a kind of violence. There's economic violence. There's so many different kinds of violence. So, and we all have our rationales for participating in it, mainly self-preservation, but all sorts of things. So I think there's a message in the album of like how difficult it is to do that, to love and to like bring peace into the world. It's like, it's not an easy thing, but I think that it is possible. And actually, if I think, so I'm going to exit my little fictional world for a second, like, and go firmly into our world. I think that we knew like how to live more lovingly and peacefully, like as recently as like 5 years ago or something. We've forgotten very quickly.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I think that we used to have at least certain ideals about graciousness and forgiveness that we've just kind of abandoned in the last really recent.
No, you're right. Because after 9/11 happened, there was a number of marches where people did not want the Americans to go to war.
Yeah.
Right? And that was like 2001. And that's a really weird response, I guess. It's kind of a stereotype to say that Americans are like that, but it is kind of a weird response. Like, you just got this horrendous terrorist attack and you lost like several thousand people, all these orphaned families, and you can respond and say, no, we don't want to go to war. That's a bold choice.
It is a super bold choice, but I think that it was pretty universally held up as like, this is our best values, though. I mean, we can't always live up to it, but we recognize that that's our best. That's our best. That's humanity at its best.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like work, right? Like when you get a job, a non-rapping job, but when you get a job, you're expected to show up every day at the cubicle, right? You're expected to work 8 hours every day at the cubicle. And the reality is people like, the TTC is late one day, so you're delayed, right? Or you're distracted because your kid is sick or something, so you don't really focus for the 8 hours. You know what I mean? Like, the reality doesn't match up with the expectations of what you're actually supposed to deliver. But the ideals are great in terms of like, yes, I'm going to work hard for your company. I'm going to make you guys money. I'll do these things.
Exactly. But I feel like very recently, I don't think this is like, I feel like very recently that ideal has changed. And so we no longer even really laud the things that we used to laud. We no longer really consider that our humanity's best.
I don't want to throw Trump under the bus because it's always such a easy answer just to blame everything on Trump and then call it a day. But what was it that you feel that made us change, or like we forgot our values, or is that just human nature? I think sometimes it's human nature. I feel like in my own life, I'm constantly learning like 3 or 4 things, and I learn them, and then I go on my way, and then I have to like relearn them. I'm like, I learned this like 2 years ago. I pull out my journal. I'm like, I learned this already. But
exactly. Yeah, I do think there's something human about it. I don't think we can underestimate the role social media plays in it.
Yeah.
I don't think we can underestimate it, really. Yeah. It's created a very different way of being. I don't know. I can't even necessarily like analyze it right now, but I just feel like social media, like you can't really, Because if you think about the last, I don't know how many years, like 5, 6, 7 years, I mean, what has changed? Well, social media has been probably the most profound shift in our culture.
Yeah, I think too the way the internet was marketed it to us, it was supposed to be like this like amazing like fountain of knowledge, and you could look up anything and learn things and connect with people and find other people who like rap music and find people who also like mustard on their sandwiches, all this good stuff. And it was actually kind of a lie. It's like when you see a movie trailer and you're like, oh, this movie looks hilarious, and it's not funny at all. And like people are dying of cancer, and it's like, oh, this is a terrible movie. The trailer lied to me. It's that feeling. I think that's what the internet feels like to me.
100%. 100%. I mean, look, we all just kind of like woke up after Trump was elected, and everyone was like, in terms of social media, everyone was going, wait, did we just break democracy? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this was supposed to be super fun, and we were supposed to be hanging out with our friends and sharing funny videos, and it's not, and it became not that at all real fast.
So I want to stick with this theme of illusions and things that are real but not real. One of my favorite songs on the album is Magic. Are you employing magic as a metaphor for the things that could disappear? Because that's what you talk about. Or are you also invoking a spiritual attack as well? Because this is partly what you're getting at with what you're talking about. You're talking about social media attacks, but also like, are you reaching for a spiritual attack? Because magic is linked to the spiritual realm, and you talk about the devil and his magic on that album, or I'm sorry, on that track.
Yeah, that's actually a metaphor that I've had in my head for a long time. This idea of making something disappear and then making you forget that it ever existed. That's the metaphor. And when I think about that idea, which feels to me like a very evil idea, I can see that sort of at play in certain insidious ways in our world. And I think that's what I'm kind of describing in the song, is the way that has happened through human history, you know, through things like colonialism, through things like even the way our economic system works. There's this magic trick that happens sometimes where something gets taken away from us, and then we also lose the memory. Even like what we were just talking about in terms of values and our ideals, and things like forgiveness and graciousness and kindness and generosity and self-sacrifice, and how we were talking about how those were kind of universal ideals in our culture up until about 5 years ago. And not only did it disappear, but we forgot that it existed. So that's what the song is about. And to me, there's definitely something spiritual about that, in the sense that it's mysterious and feels profoundly evil.
So is this a calling then? Like, these lyrics are obviously not your typical rap lyrics. Like, I just listened recently to the new Lil Wayne Carter 5. Pusha T put something out earlier this year as well. Like, what you're talking about, these lyrics are not necessarily the quote unquote the traditional things or topics that you would normally pick up on a rap album. So is this like prophecy? Is this a calling? Is this like what you must have felt compelled to share these things and to put them down, where you could have just gone like the Old Prince Lives at Home Part 2 or something, you know, I'm still living here.
Yeah. I mean, as I was saying, this felt like the more meaningful project, you know. I think anytime I'm working on music, I'm thinking about what feels worthwhile to give to people. And sometimes that's simply humor, or, you know, something that bangs really hard or something like that. And in this instance, what I felt that I had to give was this story, and to try and make it come alive. And it's definitely dense, and it's definitely layered, more so than most rap music right now. But that also, to me, is always a good sign if you feel like what you have to offer is different. So it just made sense to me. Like, I got to follow that.
We could stick with this theme of different types of rap music because when we were all both growing up, we had like Public Enemy, which was kind of like the serious political stuff. We had NWA, we had Tribe Called Quest, which was party vibe. Season 1 of Hip Hop Evolution, it ended with the birth of gangster rap, and NWA was just on the scene. So what are the groups and the rappers and the eras that we can expect in Season 2 of Hip Hop Evolution?
So I guess it's fine for me to tell you, you can expect a little trip to the South, because we didn't touch on that at all in Season 1. So you can expect a trip to the South and kind of some of the early history of Southern hip hop. So Uncle Luke, Luther Campbell, Two Live Crew from Miami, and also Ghetto Boys in Houston. You can expect a trip to Oakland. You can expect some more New York. So there's a lot of good stuff. It's interesting, moving forward in the series, because the beginning of hip hop is obviously, we're talking about the Bronx. We're talking about, Harlem. Certainly we're talking about exclusively New York when you're talking about the very beginnings. I mean, hip hop is New York.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you move forward in the history, it's like the music spread so far and wide and fast that you end up covering a lot of ground. So all that to say, Season 2 covers a lot of ground.
Like, what do you take away from working on Hip Hop Evolution yourself as you go into the studio? Like, does that deep dive in history, does it influence or affect your work and the stuff you're doing now? Like, you even went, I think with your dad recently, you went back to the home country, right? So you kind of been like spending a lot of time in the last year or a couple of years just kind of going back and like looking at this history and connecting back to this history. So does it affect your work now, or is it just kind of a separate like project in a sense?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I never really thought about it that way. I think it is quite separate, to be honest with you. Like, Hip Hop Evolution feels to me like, well, first of all, just like a privilege to get to be a part of a project like this and meet the people that I get to meet and, hear their stories and learn the history. Like, it just feels like a privilege, first of all, but it also just feels like a document about the culture for the culture, not really like a learning opportunity exactly for me. But yeah, I mean, sometimes things also just happen in life and you don't realize the thread, like you brought up that trip with my dad. It's like, yeah, I guess for whatever reason, maybe it's where I'm at in life. It's like I do have a certain curiosity about history and origins and things like that. So
kicking it old school.
Yeah, maybe there's something there that I didn't even really recognize. But I do think of them as quite separate projects. I think of Hip Hop Evolution as really these pioneers telling their story, and we have the privilege of being a part of capturing that document for people like us that love the culture and other people too.
Is there a shorthand, like when you connect with these rappers now, is there a shorthand, or like I have friends who are stand-up comics, when they get together, there's like a certain kind of ball busting, a really dark humor that kind of comes out. Like it's only just like group of like comics, and all comics kind of talk about that. Is this same kind of vibe when rappers get together and kind of start talking about the art form?
What's really sad? I don't think so.
No, man.
Because I've been around comics too, and I'm like, man, this is dope. Like, you guys are really a tribe,
Yeah, it's that shorthand that comes out right away.
Whoa, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Russell Peters is an executive producer on Hip Hop Evolution, so
Mm-hmm.
we spent some time with him working on the series, and like watching him with other comics. Like, I even remarked to him, I'm like, this is amazing. We don't have this. You know what? It's interesting. I think DJs have it. I see my DJ friends, and they seem to have this like camaraderie and just kind of like, I don't know, profound understanding of each other. And comics, it's like on a whole other level, because the cool thing with comics too is somebody can be, like Russell Peters that, makes crazy money, and he's just there. He can be sitting at the table with just some up and coming stand up, and they're all part of the family,
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact same family. So that's super cool. Super cool.
So this is a tangent, and if you don't have a proper answer, that's fine. But I'm just curious. Canada legalized weed today, and I'm curious how the legalization of weed. I mean, there's a few states now in the U.S. where it's also legal. I'm curious how the legalization of weed is going to affect hip hop culture, because that was kind of like a taboo, and the whole thing of like the puff and the smoke in the videos and all these kind of like, again, the shorthand that was kind of like rebellious culture and rebel culture and things like that. And now if it's like legal, then it's like does it affect or will it affect hip hop culture, you think?
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, actually, my buddy Ian Campo, who's just upstairs, who's a DJ, used to be in a tribe called Red, and he's a big weed activist. He was just talking to me about like how he thinks culture will be affected by the legalization. You know, I think there is something to that. Like, it will no longer be a rebellious thing. So that will be interesting to watch how that affects the culture. I don't know. Beyond that, I can't really comment. You know, I've never smoked. I've just kind of always intuited that, I don't know, I'm a pretty chill guy. That might send me over the edge.
That's fair. Yeah, no, it had nothing to do with the either the album or the TV show. I was just like, it's just an interesting part of hip hop culture because it's a subculture almost, right?
Yeah, totally. And I mean, it's already that's already started. You know, like from what I hear, like teenagers don't really smoke joints. Like they might vape or whatever, but they don't smoke joints, which is already a shift in terms of like the cool of it. Like, because that was always the cooler. I mean, smoking is cool. And so that's already started to shift where kids are already thinking about, no, what's actually the safest, best way to ingest this, which is not the cool, which is not the cool consideration. So yeah, I think the culture is already changing.
So I'll get you out on this. You talked about all these different kind of themes on the album. We talked about hip hop evolution as well. So we got to see the culture grow and we got to see it flourish. And like you said, like once it started to leave New York City, it spread quickly like wildfire. So when you look at culture and how it spreads and all these things, what are your metrics for progress? Like, how do you know if things are getting better, or how do you know if things are getting worse? What makes your spider sense tingle? Or sometimes too, people also overlook certain things as well, and they don't know how to read the signs and stuff like that. It's like, you know, when you travel to another country and like all the signs are in like Spanish or French or something, the advertising doesn't mean anything to me. I'm like, I don't know what that means. So like, what are your metrics for progress?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I think that this isn't my idea. I've heard somebody say this, like, good art takes history into account. You know, I think the best artist's progress in art is when someone kind of learns the rules and masters them and then breaks them, you know? And I think that there's something about that feeling. You can recognize that in something that feels progressive and feels like it's pushing the culture forward. You know, you hear an artist like Kendrick Lamar or something who's super creative and inventive, but also you can hear that he's rooted in a tradition of music. So that to me is what progress feels like, I think, is when there's like this recognition. You know, you can note again, like it's almost like a flavor, like you can note the recognition of history and people's contributions but at the same time, you can definitely note progression. I think that's what progress is like. It's not just kind of change for its own sake. It's like change that has taken history and other things into account.
Yeah, I mean, like you just had a kid, so your kid will eventually like start to learn how to speak English and learn how to write, and it's like she'll be tapping into all those kind of established traditions, and then hopefully eventually as she kind of masters those things, maybe starts to make up her own words or kind of has some fun with the language. You know what I mean? That's what kind of you're talking about.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Cool. And you are going to progress and hit the road. You're going to you got a whole bunch of shows, including one or two in Toronto now.
That's right, too.
Yeah, way to go. I think the first one, both of them sold out.
The first one sold out.
Way to go.
We added a second one, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so you'll be hitting the town, and where can people find you online with all the social media?
Yeah. You can look up Instagram /Shad K music. Sorry. Twitter is also /Shad K music. And I think Facebook as well.
And just on this final note, like with all that you want to say and all this denseness on this album, you feel like you were able to get it out from your head and your heart and get it onto the actual record? Because sometimes there is a breakdown, or like the translation doesn't quite make it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what people hear and feel in it. My hope with whenever there's material like this that I'm working on is just that it resonates with people on some level, whether that's even just the visceral level of the feeling you get when you hear the music to any of the different layers of meaning. So I just hope it resonates with people on some level. I try to make it work on many levels because that's to me what the story and the concept speak to. But as long as it resonates with people on some level, I'm happy. I definitely worked as hard as I could on it and put all of that stuff into it. So, but I put all that stuff into it so that somebody can get not necessarily all of it, but at least something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the miners always find gold.
Yeah, exactly. And so hopefully there are people that will like recognize all the different things that I think that these songs and the metaphors get at. But regardless, as long as people get something, if they feel something, then I feel like I've done my job.
All right. And you've done your job twice. A Short Story About War is out October 26th, and Hip Hop Evolution Season 2 drops Friday, October 19 on Netflix. Thank you, Shad, for like taking some time and like hanging out. I know it's a busy time, like I said, like the kid, the album, the TV show, and Kawhi Leonard. It's a lot. It's a very busy October.
There's a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm. I know you're going out on tour, but are you hoping to, if you had the chance, would you be able to go to a Raptors game? Would there be anybody you want to see, like for the opposing team?
Ooh. You know what? I probably want to see the Celtics. Like I love watching Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably want to see us play the Celtics.
All right. I picked up tickets for Timberwolves, whether Butler will still be there or not, and 76ers.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'll be sick.
Mm-hmm. I want to see this young kid Ben Simmons play and Embiid and stuff. So
yeah.
So we're done.
Okay.
Thank you, Shad, for taking the time. It was good.
No problem.
They steal. Then they take your memory of the theft. Magic. The show will literally take your breath. Joker in the deck. The devil in his magic. Devil in his magic. Devil in his magic. Devil in his magic. See, it's kinda like magic, huh? They cause a distraction and poof, all that we have disappears and we clap and forget that it happened. Forgot that we lost it, forgot that the magic men have it. They grabbed it, they stole it, they cause a distraction. Distraction. Wow. It's all a distraction. Imagine. Like magic. Ooh. Gone is our land, our language, our history, ancestry, families vanished like it was magic. Ooh. Gone is our greatness, our sacred places and practices. Suddenly we feel vacant, we saw him take it though. Ooh. Our hands lift from the earth, the dirt, from the food, remove, rezone, reduced. Disappeared. It's all smoke and mirrors. All of it's magic. Devil in his magic. All of it's magic. The devil in his magic. Distraction. The way that they take the way of magicians is in addition to subtraction. They used division, they mastered the craft of it. Listen, see through the illusions and all the amusements. They divide humans up, causing confusion. They use competition, religion, it's all just division, man. All of it's magic, splitting us into factions, fighting until we're fractured, smaller and smaller fractions. People feeling like zero, all of it, all of it, all of it's magic. Rabbit and hat tricks are practiced and crafty, the fastest you had it, and then suddenly gone is your work, your purpose, your worth, the reason you wake, your sense of the season, your stake in it. Your traditions and intuitions, supports, commitments, decisions, they vanish from your hands like your voice, your choice, your miss, attention gone. To fast cars and fast fashion, fast food and no fast and all distractions. Keep the light blinds and the fear blinds and the cash binds and just gotta keep them confined until reality's so hard to look at that we turn a blind eye. Don't even care that they took it. Devil and his magic. Devil and his magic. Devil and his magic.